when they do get together, and if they did fight, honestly, the worst could happen is they kill each other. Going through the challenges of Dunbar staying away from Big Joe. And this is a perfect example right here of why we had a hard time, and it being so challenging, of getting Dunbar to the Haas group and getting him to our back 80. And it was a challenge. One would kill the other. I mean, it's that dangerous of a condition. And, it's sort of in the wild, that's survival of the fittest, right? The toughest bull wins. He gets to breed the females. Well, in some cases, some of those bulls don't make it. They don't live. Sometimes they get gored and it hits a internal organ and they can die out. And then we don't have a Dunbar. We don't have a Big Joe. That's why we really avoid those situations. But breeding season is going to keep this guy busy because this is the most females he's ever had. He's got 16 breedable females in here. With the Big Joe herd, and it may he's got his work cut out for him now, so good to see if the big guy can cover all that, because he is solo out here. There's other bulls out here like some calves, but they're younger and not going to do anything. You got to be 2 years old to be able to breed, and he is the only one over 2. So Marissa and I have had our hands full the past month, bringing all the animals over. This is pasture 1. They're in pasture 2. This is just a simple cross fence, right? Just 5 strands of barbed wire that we use for our cross fencing that you can see here. The problem is when you get these bulls and they want to show their dominance and their big toughness, and they're really showing who owns this land and who's the big dog around here. Well, when they get to doing that, like Big Joe's he's pretty good when it comes to showing his dominance. He rolls around and buffs, and he may rub on some trees and roll in the dirt, showing his territory. But Dunbar, he's pretty characteristic when it comes to that. He would be hitting on this fence, and he would be tearing up this fence more than likely. I know Dunbar. He's been with us since he was yay tall. But so that's why it's very challenging to move these bison around. And when you've got animals like Big Joe, who's 8, and then you got an animal like Dunbar that's 6, 2 mature bulls, they can get after it. And so this fence is not going to stop them, right? This is just a cross fence, like I said. But if 2 bulls get into it, what's going to happen is they're going to tear this fence up, and Big Joe and Dunbar are going to end up in the same pasture. And then getting them apart would be a huge challenge. I know a lot of people are probably wondering, why didn't you just take Dunbar straight to the Haas herd? Why didn't you just take him out there and release him in the pasture? If I could go back and do it all over, I would have probably done that. But one of the things that we wanted to do, and that we always try to do, is we bring animals to the home place, to the corral at the barn, and we let them acclimate for 2 or 3 days before we actually move the bison. That's something that we do, and from now on, this is just a lesson learned. We may have to not do that sometimes and just do a straight release. And in this case, if I could go back, we'd have just taken Dunbar straight to the back 80 burn unit and let him go with the Haas herd. But this is all part of ranching. We've only been doing this for 5 years. You got to live and learn and grow from there.